digitally fix everything.
Oh, there you go.
You look great. You look very
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Down boy, down boy. Oh, I'm single. And you will be for years to come if you don't want to. First of all, you obviously know Lou real well.
Yes, I've known him for a long time.
And every time his name was mentioned this morning, a big old smile would come to your face. So tell us why that is. Tell us what it was like working with him.
Well, we used to call him the fifth mama. He was, we had never worked with a band before. We had never heard ourselves with any electric instruments. I had never recorded before, so I'd never even been in a studio.
You were a folk group.
We were a folk group, yeah. We were the New Journeymen, and we played with guitar, one banjo, and no bass. We'd never used a bass.
Wow.
So it was, we knew we were trying to make a transition into what was now popular music, and Lou understood how to help us do that. He put us together with the best musicians. He put us together with Joe Osborne, Larry Knechtel, Hal Blaine, who were the Wrecking Crew, the best. They were the guys who made all the hits, and Lou just had a way to explain things. He would listen, and we would be fumbling around, and it wouldn't get right, and he'd say, you know, I've got an idea. Why don't you just do the instrumental after the second verse, and then wait for the bridge and do that? And you know, we say, yeah. And he's not a musician, but he had the ear.
Yeah.
He had the ear for structuring a hit, and you got to have that guy on your team.
Tell us about the first time you heard a playback
Oh.
of what he did to you.
Oh. I don't know the song, but it was probably California Dreamin'. Probably California Dreamin' because, well, I know it's California Dreamin' because we were going to give that. He put us to work singing backgrounds for Barry McGuire until he finished Barry's second album, so we'd have some money.
Right.
And we were going to give Barry McGuire California Dreamin' as a present. And so we put the track down, we put the background vocals on, and then Barry put the lead on, and we all looked at each other and we said, we're not going to give him this song. This is going to be our first single. So he said, we take it back, Barry. You can't have it after all. So hearing it back was just amazing because it was, we couldn't believe it was us. It was so beautiful.
Well, I was thinking about this morning when I saw you here standing next to Mary Clayton, that the Mamas and the Papas have to be probably the best vocal group, white group of all time. I don't think there's anyone that really comes close to what you guys accomplished. You have to get seriously into good black music to find harmonies that sweet.
I think you got something there, but you know, it was interesting. The sound of boys and girls singing together was very unusual too. I don't remember any other groups that had men and women in them. They were either the guy groups or the girl groups.
Yeah, that was much more
And
prevalent, right?
this was, and John's arrangements. I mean, John is a masterful vocal arranger. There's just nobody who could touch him. You know, he had an interest in all kinds of music. He had a very big interest in jazz. He had been in jazz. He had put together jazz groups. He had put together folk groups. He was just, his talent was so multifaceted in his arranging ability. I mean, when, you know, I started singing because of John, not because I ever had any ambitions to sing. It's just that if you were in the same room with John, he would say, okay, and now you sing this, and you sing this, and you sing this, and he would give everybody parts. And he would play, and he'd say, "Oh, no, that sounds really good, doesn't it?" He said, "Okay, you're going to be in the group." And I say, "No, I'm not going to be in any group." He says, "Yeah, you are." I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Oh, it's the only way I can justify your expenses on the road, Michelle." So